Get ready for a roller coaster of emotions because the Belgian GP brought us an unexpected twist. George Russell, who crossed the finish line in first place, ended up being disqualified hours after the race. But hold on, the story doesn't stop there. We're going to unravel the mystery behind this shocking disqualification and how it shook up the entire grid. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Imagine this. You cross the finish line first, step onto the top podium spot, celebrate with champagne, and then suddenly it all disappears. That's exactly what happened to George Russell at the Belgian GP. But why? The reason is as technical as it is cruel. His car was 1.5 kilograms below the minimum allowed weight. It seems minor, right? But in F1, where every gram counts, that's enough to strip a victory. The car was weighed on two available scales, one inside his garage and another outside. After the FIA checked the calibration of both, they had no choice but to summon Mercedes representatives. They held a meeting with the stewards for alleged violation of Article 4.1 of the technical regulations, which states, the weight of the car, without fuel, must not be less than 798 kilos. Russell's daring strategy of making only one pit stop was brilliant during the race. He managed to hold off Lewis Hamilton until the end, making his tires last longer than anyone imagined. But this same strategy might have backfired. With only one stop, Russell's car lost more rubber from the tires than expected, resulting in this crucial weight deficit. Considering that a tire loses about a kilogram over a stint, we can say that the brilliant strategy that allowed him to run double the laps compared to other drivers led to his disqualification. After the race, Christian Horner commented, "On Friday, we checked the wear and weight of the tires after the long runs and found that the one-stop strategy would undoubtedly result in a loss of over 1 kilos of rubber." And here's another interesting point. In Spa, cars don't do the celebration lap after the checkered flag. This means Russell didn't get the chance to pick up that extra rubber on the track, which normally helps offset the weight loss during the race. A small detail that made all the difference as confirmed by Mario Isola, Pirelli's race manager. With Russell's disqualification, the victory went to none other than his teammate, Lewis Hamilton. Suddenly, Mercedes went from a spectacular 1-2 finish to a mix of joy and disappointment. Toto Wolff didn't hide his frustration and said, "We have to accept the disqualification. Clearly, we made a mistake and need to make sure we learn from it." For Russell, it was quite a blow. On social media, he vented, "Heartbreaking. We left everything on the track today, and I'm proud to have crossed the line first. There will be more to come." You can almost feel the pain in his words, right? But not all news is bad for Mercedes. Despite the drama, the team showed impressive performance, dominating the race with two different strategies. This is a clear sign that they are back in the game, ready to challenge Red Bull's dominance. Now, have you ever thought about how this disqualification could mess with the driver and team's mindset? Imagine this. You're doing everything right, winning the race, and suddenly losing everything because of 1.5 kilo. Sure, it's in the rules, but it must be frustrating, right? Now let's talk about Red Bull, a team that seemed unbeatable and suddenly found itself struggling to maintain its advantage. Max Verstappen, who started 11th due to a penalty, managed to finish 5th, which became 4th after Russell's disqualification. A solid result considering the starting position, but far from the dominance we were used to seeing. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez had a Sunday to forget. Starting 2nd, he finished 8th, 7th after the disqualification, describing his race as really bad. The Mexican faced tire degradation issues, something Red Bull usually masters. Team principal Christian Horner admitted they have work to do, saying, "We know we want to be better and we'll be analyzing a lot during the summer break." But he also made sure to praise Verstappen's performance, who managed to extend his championship lead despite the difficulties. The most interesting part? Verstappen himself acknowledged that Red Bull's days of absolute dominance are over. With our pace in the last races, it's not realistic to think we can go from 11th to the front again. Those days, unfortunately, are behind us, said the Dutchman. And what about McLaren, huh? Oscar Piastri secured another podium in F1, holding off pressure and proving he deserves his place among the greats. Lando Norris, on the other hand, had a frustrating race. After starting fourth, he finished sixth, which became fifth after the disqualification. But make no mistake, McLaren as a whole is on the rise. The improvements to the car are visibly noticeable, and the Woking team is becoming a real threat to the front teams. As for Ferrari, despite not shining as much as they hoped at Spa, they are still in the fight. Charles Leclerc inherited third place after Russell's disqualification, giving the Scuderia a breather and keeping their championship hopes alive. Now guys, let's talk about the battle for the Constructors' Championship. This Belgian GP shook everything up, and now, with the summer break coming up, it's time to analyze what we can expect for the second half of the season. First, Red Bull. They still lead the championship, but is their dominance starting to crack? Max Verstappen admitted that the days of absolute advantage are behind them. Without Perez's help to rack up points, Verstappen finds himself alone. This opens up a window of hope for the other teams, doesn't it? Mercedes, despite the drama of Russell's disqualification, showed they are back in the game. They dominated the race with two different strategies, which is a clear sign they finally found the right path in car development. Hamilton inherited the win, and the team seems to have recovered this season. Will we see more victories in the second half of the season? And we can't forget about McLaren. Who would have thought that after such a tough start to the season, they'd be fighting for podiums? Piastri and Norris have shown impressive consistency. The Woking team made a huge leap in development and is stealing precious points from the front teams. Ferrari, on the other hand, seems to be on a roller coaster. They have speed, that's undeniable, but consistency is still a problem. But will they be able to keep up the pace in the second half of the season? Looking ahead to the summer break, the teams will have time to breathe, analyze data, and make adjustments. This is where the magic happens, folks. The factories will be in full swing, with engineers working day and night to bring improvements. Who will hit the mark, and who will miss big time? What a race, huh, folks? The Belgian GP reminded us why we love F1 so much. The unpredictability, the drama, the cutting-edge technology, and of course, the breathtaking twists. Russell's disqualification isn't just about a car being too light. It's a reminder of how every detail counts in this sport. It's a wake-up call for all teams about the importance of precision. And above all, it's proof that in F1 it's never over until it's really over. With the summer break approaching, teams will have time to reflect, adjust, and come back strong for the second half of the season. Will we see more surprises? Will Red Bull regain their dominance? Will McLaren continue their rise? And Mercedes, have they finally found the magic formula? There's only one way to find out: by staying tuned to all the excitement of F1. Don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications. That way, you won't miss any details of this season that promises to go down in history. See you at the next race, folks. Until then.